Hello everyone! Like many of you, I hunger for shortcuts, ways of making things easier, ways of cheating the system, which led me to Google search XP forts in Shadow of War. And in the deep dark crevices of Reddit, I found a post. But I didn't think that this thread would lead me to discovering one of the most horrifying fortresses in all of Middle-earth. An entire fortress of the one orc that I have never been able to recruit, the merchant. Standing there, almost mocking me, I was salivating from my mouth with rage. If you're unfamiliar to why I hate this orc, last year I dedicated a series to trying to find him. I wanted him because he's the only orc that creates entirely black painted Olog followers. I spent day after day searching for him, which actually led me to going up and down the rankings like a sort of bipolar badger. But it wasn't all in vain. While doing this, I found many cool orcs. But all of this took a toll on my system and my game save. And on the eve of announcing that I was about to take part in raiding all of your lovely fortresses, I logged into my Xbox only to find horror. My game file had been corrupted by having way too many orcs in my garrison. I blame the merchant for this, and have sworn to hunt him down ever since. So, naturally, finding an XP fortress filled to the brim with nothing but merchants filled me with utter joy. So without further ado, let's jump in there and see exactly what is going on. Also, big shout out to the person that made this fortress. They actually make Shadow of War videos as well, so I'm gonna link them down in my description. Go and give them a wee follow. I called the banners, I summoned in Hoglik the Butcher, which I got from a previous shopping spree. I also called in my bitey boy, the Maniac Shark, as well as Arbeku the Painless, who's an Olog which I turned from being a pain lover into not being able to feel anything at all, so naturally he hates me, and it's only a matter of time until he betrays me. I hopped up these orcs on every kind of stimulant I could find in Bagga's cabinet, and then we approached the merchant fort. I'd read in the description of the merchant orcs that they were very susceptible to beasts, so I decided to test this out. How true is it? I smash on through the front gate, and yes! With the first punch of the grog, I take out two of them. The grog's arm swings around violently and takes out the third Mog the Merchant. Also, as merchant orcs go, that name's got a bit of a ring to it. I run back out to get Hoglik up because he's been downed and I have no idea why. It's not like the wall exploded or anything. That's actually an inside joke from one of my streams. A wall exploded during a raid and killed many chat members' orcs. Yeah, go follow me there if you want to take part in any Shadow of War streams in the future. I then watch as my Hoglik orc that I'd just gotten up is peppered by arrows and is downed again. But nevertheless, I take the point and decide to leave him. I charge my beast head first into the next point and I actually take out two of them by simply running them over, with the final one being taken out by a stomp. Before I get to the third point, Hoglik the Butcher very selfishly takes away some of the camera time and bleeds out. Just do it in silence, lad. I decide to test these orcs on the ground, so I jump off my grog and immediately stealth kill Mog the Merchant. I don't know why I said his full name, like, as if it's going to be a different orc. As I'm pulling my blade out, I see the beautiful all black painted Ologs that I just never got a chance to farm. I take my anger out on the remaining merchants, and God, this does feel good. Although I do have to thank them in some weird way. I mean, because my game crashed, I did get to start a new playthrough on Xbox, and it led to the new green painted Bagga the Alchemist being born. We take the third point, and whenever I arrive at the next wave of lads, I hit them with my Elven Light. But I've got Frost equipped, and this immediately just makes all three of them rage out, and I am completely alone with no reinforcements. They summon in a huge horde of black orcs, but I'm actually already downed by their arrows. This is honestly kind of embarrassing. If I'd had flames equipped on my Elven Light, they would have been melted. But I'm able to save myself and my surrounding orcs by hitting the middle of the point with a flaming arrow explosion. Once fire touches their skin, they're pretty much useless. I then destroy one of them with what I think is the most satisfying Elven Light, the Frost. Just look at that. Look at him shattering. I then get my first conversation with one of them, and this one's clearly been to the Nickelodeon Awards. Wow, okay. Honestly, I don't know what I was expecting. I mean, obviously they've been shamed. Like, what has this person done to them to put them in this kind of easy to get rid of situation? Like, what cruel experiments has this lad done to them? And I can't believe their name didn't change from the merchant to, like, the abused. How has this all happened? With that poor orc now put out of his misery, I take the point and head on into the inner gate. I slam on down, and then I'm immediately met with quite a large horde of orcs. Each one of them is capable of calling in reinforcements and banners, so it does make the fights a little bit tricky sometimes. Why I have not changed my skills into all fire skills yet, I do not know. The merchant then does his best CC impersonation. I then realize just how many orcs I'm up against here, so I decide to finally change my skills. I then have another chat with CC. She just can't get enough of Talion. Back off, lady, I'm not going to give you a sponsorship. I then activate my newly equipped Fire Elven Light. And it's safe to say that that does the job beautifully.
Help me, Jesus! Help me, Jewish God! Help me, Allah! Ah!
With the merchants now adequately crispy, we head to the final point. But then whenever I'm coming out of my elven predator vision, I sort of get stuck in this misty world. It's like I'm stuck in London during the Industrial Revolution. What the hell is going on here? And when my eyesight finally comes back, I just see a huge horde of enemies all enraged, all charging at me. I jump out of there for a brief moment just to catch my breath. And then I dive on back in all elegant like and hit them with a massive fire blast. I get my lovely painless lad back on his feet and he immediately seeks revenge. Pulling the limbs off the merchant and turning him into a fallout centaur. With the orcs now either burnt to a crisp or turned into a nugget, I take the point and head on into the throne room, where, you guessed it, I come face to face with 3 more merchants. I gotta ask the question, how did this guy do this? There must be some sort of way to like duplicate orcs that I'm not familiar with. I wasn't even sure if I wanted to do an XP for it, but I thought I might as well show you guys. And also, whenever I looked it up and I saw that it was merchant orcs, I just had to goddamn do it. I summon in my grog, and I make short work of these remaining merchant orcs. Running down the first one, speeding over the second one, and then hitting the overlord with a flurry of fire attacks.
But something looks wrong. I mean, he's running around like he's on fire.
Oh my God, help me! I don't want to die!
Before putting him out of his misery right over his throne. With that, the fort is taken, and I'm glad to say that I actually gained 2 levels. Although this time is pathetic. In the creator of this fort's video, he said that you can rate this in 3 minutes. So that's the time that I'm gonna try and aim for. Going into the fortress, I was level 68, and leaving it, I am now level 70. So 2 levels from 1 fort raid is very good. This was a little bit of a wake-up call, because I sort of struggled at times in this XP fortress, which is supposed to be easy. So I think I should definitely upgrade my gear. Once that's done, I summoned in some orcs from my garrison. Two-Horn the Avalanche, he has that very interesting paint color that's sort of like whitey pinky. Ogbur the Frogblood, because you just gotta love a Frogblood. Who doesn't like a Frogblood, let's be honest.
I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay.
My big yellow painted lad as Teru the Cruel, and as Adar the Tainted. I put together my team, implemented some very much needed raid upgrades. And then we were off to see how quickly I can raid this fortress, and also how much XP I'm gonna get. This time I immediately jump on top of the grog, charge in and smash down the front gate. I run over the first 3 merchants as if I'm riding Gorlock the Destroyer. And as we're taking the first point, Hoglik the Jaded is down again. Oh, actually, not Hoglik the Jaded. Sorry, Force of Hobbit. Force of Hobbit? What the hell am I saying?
Stupid fat hobbit.
Anyway, we take the first point, and Hoglik needs to leave my army immediately. The second point goes about the same. I run down the free merchants aboard Gorlock. And the same at the third point. This is becoming addicting. Hoglik the Butcher then selfishly takes more screen time and bleeds out. Bleed out in silence, mate, please. I rampage on over to the fourth point. And then the Tainted bleeds out. What is with my lads being so selfish? I break down the inner gate and charge at the throne room. I knock down the merchants like an angry cat surrounded by glasses of water on a countertop. On to the final point, and I hit them with a flaming arrow explosion. Just a bit of a warm-up before the grog moves in and crushes them. With the final point now taken, I head on into the throne room. And in here I unleash my secret weapon, my shark, and you guessed it, another grog. I charge on in, smash down the first two, and then I pound the overlord into the floor as if he was David Dobrik's friend, before jumping off and executing him Ezio style. Okay, let's see it. Surely this is going to be the fastest time that I've done. I don't know how I can go faster than that. 3 minutes 58. Okay, well I guess it's sort of in the 3 minute range, but I would say a more reasonable outcome is 4 minutes. I gained 70,000 XP from that level up 2 levels. But as you can see, I am still only level 72. So let's get back into the fortress. I'm going till I'm level 80. After this raid, I was able to get my time down by about 10 seconds. This time I go in and I decide to actually bring a Drake. I equip the Drake, I start burning them, and to my surprise they actually burn immediately, upon the first little touch of fire. But this actually begins to annoy me because it's constant cutscenes. The Drake method definitely isn't as fast as the Grog method. I continue on to the next point, burning orcs as I go. This merchant sadly falls down the stairs in a ball of fire. I continue to rampage through the fortress, now on top of a Grog. I head on into the throne room, but I've already used up my summon. So this actually makes the throne room a little bit trickier, just based on the amount of Ologs that I'm seeing. But not to worry, as soon as I get my first Fire Elven Light blasted off, everything just goes to plan. Although at one point during the throne room fight, I make a massive mistake. I jump over this orc and I'm hit by a flurry of enraged lads. As you can see, I was completely surrounded and there's actually 2 active banners. I get back up, take care of them, and shoot some arrows into the soft-headed merchants. Just look at the sheer amount of black painted Ologs here. Luckily I'm able to get another Fire Elven Light, which clears them out. The Overlord becomes extra crispy, and I finish off the fort raid in style. I respawn a mere level 77. As you can see, I've still got 3 to go. So let's get straight back in there. And there we go, we've done it. I have to say, this is a very good fort, so massive props to the lad here who's made it. This one is on PlayStation 5, but if you look here, I'll also leave it in the description, there are fortresses on Xbox as well. I didn't usually think I would condone this, but if you need to level up quickly, then I think this is a pretty good option, honestly. Or if you simply need to blow off some steam against a horrible orc known as the Merchant. But I was actually doing this for a reason, lads, and that reason is that I am building myself up to once again raid your fortresses. That's going to be a massive upcoming series, so get your forts ready. I'm also going to be doing a huge ranking list of every single fort. The first ranking list is going to be difficulty, and the second list is going to be fort uniqueness. So get building your forts, lads, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers!
Subscribe for more of that delicious Shadow of War content. Come on, it's probably free to do. And if it isn't, maybe it's worth the money. I don't know. I haven't checked it out yet, but you can trust me. I'm an anonymous voiceover.